Hello, I am Jameson and welcome to my channel. In this series, I am logging my weekly training as I progress from being at one of my lifetime lows all the way to completing a full Ironman triathlon. Like forging a weapon, you start with raw material. You process it through fire and work away the slag. You quench it with water to lock in its strength. And then you sharpen and fine-tune it to bring it to its peak optimal performance. In this case, I am the raw material. So please show your support as I go through the process to forge an Ironman.
Okay, so that is second week of the build phase complete as I head toward my first sprint triathlon. I actually ended up missing a few sessions during the week. I missed a run session and a few swim sessions due to inclement weather. So I managed to get in about 16 hours. 16 hours might typically be a little bit too much for a sprint distance, but I have to keep in mind that the big goal is the full Ironman. So I'm trying to keep the volume high. So last Sunday I did a 4-hour ride and then a 1-hour ride later on to complete 5 hours. Monday I did a 2-hour run and I was going to do a second run for 1 hour. Unfortunately, I did not hydrate well enough on my 2-hour run, and it wasn't until I went to the bathroom that I realized that. Peeing blood is never a good sign. My first thought when I saw that was that I had rhabdo and that I might have to go to the ER. Fortunately, after hydrating for a little bit, it ended up clearing up. After a little bit of quick Googling, it seems to be something that can happen when you become that dehydrated. I didn't realize I was just that dehydrated. In hindsight, I did have a sports drink that had some red food coloring in it, so it could have actually been the really concentrated food coloring from the beetroot that perhaps looked like blood in my urine. Either way, I've decided that I'm going to start using a camel pack for those longer runs. I've never really gone running so much with a camel pack. I think that carrying anything on your shoulders or even just holding a water bottle in my hand makes for a less relaxing run. You have to remember that in a road race, you always have service stations, people on the side of the road supporting you, giving you water, giving you Gatorade, giving you snacks or whatever. When you're out running for that long on your own, it's important to learn to manage that sort of thing on your own. But yeah, that was the first time I've ever peed that red ever. Next day I did a very, very light zone 1 2-hour ride on the bike. Pool was closed due to inclement weather. And then the next day I did a threshold ride. I think I did 8 intervals of 5 minutes with 1 minute rest in between, running the heart rate up to zone 4, of course. Had another mild day on Thursday. Oh yeah, on Wednesday I also did a 1-hour run and some strides. I did 6 80-meter strides. But then on Friday I did my first interval run. I want to build up to being able to do the Norwegian 4x4, which is 4 by 4 minutes at zone 5. With about 3 to 4 minutes rest in between. Jogging rest. Pretty intense. So I modified it a little bit. I didn't quite do the whole 4-minute thing. Instead, I looked for a distance that would be around 4 minutes. So thousands. So I ended up doing 2 by 1K. First one in 3:46 and the second one in 3:54. I decided I wasn't going to be able to handle another one. So I jogged over to a location to do a couple 400s. I did an 84 second and a 92 second. Let's just say that my high end is a little bit out of shape still, and that was plenty of work for my current fitness. I also managed to get in 1 swim in between the rain. I worked in a few intervals of swimming. Nothing too crazy, but I did want to get an idea of what I'm able to do. The pool that I'm using is a little bit off, so my standard is 102 yards. I did 4 102s with 90-second rest in between each. It ranged between 2 minutes and 1:38. It was just enough for me to get an idea of what I'm currently able to do and what I need to work toward, because I'm largely inexperienced with swim training. But with that, I have a few more ideas on what I can do. So that was week 2 of build phase. I have 1 more week of that, and then I'll be putting on a lot more intensity in a 2-week peak phase before a 1-week taper. But that's it for now.